I was like scared when I walked in. Both of me and my husband were, because we didn't know anybody and this was so foreign to us. It was a different denomination. It was a lot of people. We're used to a very, very, very small crowd of just mostly family and few friends. Guys, I'm back up here in my study room. Actually I used to call this a sitting room, but it's been a combination of different types of rooms up here. It's just like a little room at the top of my steps, and then I've got 2 bedrooms and a bathroom up here, which one of the bedrooms, I told you guys in the last video, is vacant now. My youngest son has moved out, but he's not very far. He's down the hill, and he lives in a little house down there, and I'm really glad he's not far away. He turned 18, and like I said, I homeschool both my kids, so they've been with me very closely the last 18 and 22 years. My oldest one's 22. So having one of them move out was definitely a experience. It was a lot of emotions there for a little while, and it's still tough, but I'm getting more used to it. But I'm glad he's not far. I will say that. But in the meantime, we're working on this room in here. Actually, I could show you guys the room really quick, what we're doing with it. I've got a tool chest up here. I used to use this to store like all of my sewing stuff. And so this used to be a sewing room, and yeah, there is a skeleton in here. There's a little bit of a story behind that. My oldest son's in college, and in his human anatomy and physiology class, they had this skeleton, and the professor had to order a new one because it had a few missing parts on it. And the professor asked if Eli wanted it, and Eli was like, yeah, I'll take it home. Because his girlfriend's in radiology, and she x-rays bones and things like that. So it's kind of something they had in common. So he brought it home, and it lives here currently. But when he leaves next year, if he does, it's going with him. And I've also got a massage bed out here because he's actually in massage school. He's wanting to get into like clinical sports therapy, massage. And so this currently lives here too. So it's kind of like a little catch-all room at the moment. I've got my sewing machine in here. But it used to be like a little movie theater room for the kids, a sewing room. I used to do photography in here. It's just been all kinds of things. And now it's my study. This had all my sewing stuff in it. It was really cool for sewing. But now my husband has taken it over. He's going to put tools in it. And we're going to put it in this spare closet that we're actually working in that I don't have handles on. I can't open it right now. We just got it painted. Yay, we're done. So it'll be a good place for storage. We're going to move that thing back in here. And then, yeah, got lots of storage in here. But this is just basically a spare bedroom. We bought the bed frame and the mattress. We got it online. It was like one of those memory foams that fold up in a box. We couldn't believe how they fit it in here, but it's actually a pretty nice mattress. We put new trim up. I stained it, and it's kind of got a little farmhouse feel in it, and I like it. I really do like it. And I've locked my dog in the closet. What are you doing? Come out here, Molly. Oh my goodness. She follows me everywhere. I wanted to get on here and talk to you guys a little bit about my new Bible that I got. Maybe I'll just show you guys like all the Bibles that I actually have that I've used over the years. They're over here on my shelf, and I'll bring them over here. And these are the 2 Bibles that I currently have been using the last quite a few years. These are the New Living Translation Application Study Bible. I love an application study Bible. I can just go to the bottom after I've read a passage and I can see kind of more in depth what it means and how to apply it to my life. So this Bible has just been such a great resource for me. I've taught Sunday school and used that so many times. But the reason why I have two of the same Bible is this was like a personal size, and I realized a few years down the line that they had a bigger and larger print. This is not actually large print. It doesn't say that on there, but it is a little bit bigger than this one, so it was easy for me to see. But one thing I did to this Bible that I don't really like, and over the last several years I started just really loving it a little bit less, was these tabs. I don't know, just for some reason for me the tabs just don't work, and I actually ripped a few of them so they're kind of like hanging off. And so I thought one day I'm going to take all these tabs off. Well, that did not work out. They would not come off, and that might be why some of these are torn. So I just thought it was harder to see them unless I'd kind of bend it down like this, because some of them cover up the other books and they're just hard to flip through pretty quickly and find what you're looking for. But you all may have better luck than I have with these. So I decided, as all the stuff that's been kind of changing my life here lately, church-wise and things like that, I thought I am going to start anew, because I've been starting a lot of things new here lately with my walk with God. And I decided I'm going to get me a new Bible. And I decided I wanted to go back to the King James Version. And one reason was because growing up, I did a lot of verse memorization. And a lot of those old verses were from the King James Bible. So I thought I'd go to the Christian bookstore and look at the King James Bible again and just read through it. And I just really love the way it's written. It just really speaks to me. So I went and bought this Bible at the beginning of the week, and I am just absolutely thrilled with it. Like, I love it. It's also a life application study Bible, and it is just in the King James Version. So I was really thrilled to find that they made that in the King James Version as well, because I just haven't been on the market for a Bible in a long time, so I didn't know what all they had out there. This is actually a large print Bible, and it is got bigger text than my other one. In comparing the text size, you can see a difference. And you can see the thumb index. Really easy to find the books. And I just love all of the extra notes that are at the bottom, and you know how you can apply that to everyday life. It's got maps, timelines, strengths, accomplishments. So it talks about the people in the Bible a lot. Here's Genesis and a little blueprint at the beginning. Just a lot of information. Timelines in the very beginning of the Bible. They also had other colors. If blue is not your color, I think they had pink, black. They had like a brown and black, I think. So I think there was other colors too. I actually went over the weekend, my husband and I got the New King James Version. And I thought, well, this is a little bit more updated. Maybe I'll stick with that. And when I got home, I don't know, something was pulling me to go back to the old King James Version. I was doing a lot of comparison, and I just really liked the King James Version. I felt like it kind of spoke a little bit differently, and a lot of these verses in my memory are the same as it's written in here. And at the new church we went to this weekend, they were also reading from the King James Bible, which is good. And I like having the same translation because it's kind of easier to follow for me, I think, instead of kind of reading different words that someone else is reading. Even though they mean the same thing, it's just easier. And y'all know that I went to a new church this past Sunday, and I'm going to talk about that on here and what's going on in my life as far as why we're changing churches. I mentioned that a little bit last video. I want to gather my thoughts a little bit before I talk about it, but I think I'm going to talk about it in the next couple videos. I'm just kind of waiting until the time is right, and I will share that with you guys. You know, I said on the last video that I don't know if that's going to be our home church. I just don't know yet because I want to follow God's lead. But we are wanting to go back. I felt the Holy Spirit there, and I thought that was absolutely amazing. It was, you know, in the sermon, in the music was just so moving. And we talked about Exodus 15. and how that was a song of deliverance. And it says here, in my Bible, it says Exodus 15, a song of deliverance. Then sang Moses and the children of Israel this song unto the Lord, and spake, saying, I will sing unto the Lord, for he hath triumphed gloriously. The horse and his rider he hath thrown into the sea. So it talks about God's glorious triumph over the Israelites. If you have time, go in there and read that, and about how Moses parted the Red Sea. I just can't fathom that, but we know that God is so big and he does more than we as humans can imagine. He is bigger than we can imagine. And just, thinking about how the Red Sea looked and how it was split, and that's amazing. That is just amazing. It shows what God can do and what he's going to do in our lives and in this world. In my Bible, in the Life Application Bible, I will read the bottom of it. This sums up verses 1 through 18. It says, music played an important part in Israel's worship and celebration. Singing was an expression of love and thanks. It was a creative way to pass down oral traditions. Some say this song of Moses is the oldest recorded song in the world. It was a festive, epic poem celebrating God's victory, lifting the hearts and voices of the people outward and upward. After having been delivered from great danger, they sang with joy. Psalms and hymns can be great ways to express relief, praise, and thanks when you have been through trouble. And I felt like that, like when I walked in that church, and we've been going through stuff for a while now. It's not just been like a sudden thing. It kind of was sudden, but it also wasn't sudden, if that makes sense. But when the music started, I was like scared when I walked in. Both of me and my husband were, because we didn't know anybody, and this was so foreign to us. It was a different denomination. It was a lot of people. We're used to a very, very, very small crowd of just mostly family and few friends. And it was a lot. And when they started singing, I don't know what come over me. Oh, I do know what come over me. And I was just like crying. I couldn't help it. I was like, okay, I don't want to do this. I don't want to do this. And I couldn't stop it. Next week, I'm taking Kleenex because I don't know. It may come over me again. But the music was so moving. And I think that's also important if you like to worship and praise God in music. And it just really gets into your soul. And it was an experience that I haven't felt in a very long time. And it just told me that God is here. He is still here, and he is going to be with me through this and beyond. So knowing that gives me peace. And I'm just trusting in him, having faith that he's going to show me the way and he's going to be with me wherever I go. But that is going to be it here for my Bible study at the moment. I've got to sit down and work on some of this. And I've got to go to the kitchen and get some ideas for dinner. It's always something I struggle with, trying to figure out what to cook for supper. It's like, after cooking for years and years and years, it's just like, your list of things you make is just like the same things over and over again. And which one are you desiring at the moment? But I'm going to do that, and I'm just going to leave you guys with this. I'm going to be back on here in the next day or so. We'll have another Christian topic, or I'm just going to kind of do things on here as I feel led. It might be, a Bible study. It might be a vlog style. It might be mixed in, and what we talk about might be something I talked about in church or my devotion the day before, or just something that's on my mind, something that's going on in the world that we need to apply God in. So that concludes today. I hope you guys have a wonderful and blessed Wednesday, and I will see you soon. Bye-bye.